Good day, everyone.
I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things.
This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Vance Dodd claims his ex promised to keep her rowdy son out of their apartment during his job interview, but she didn't, and it cost him the position.
All rise.
Wanda Erikson says it was raining, so she brought her son home from the park early.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Dodd versus Erikson. Mr. Dodd, you are suing Ms. Erikson for $2,500 for negligence. You say that you lost a job opportunity due to the defendant not watching her son. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Defendant, you say you offered alternative solutions.
I did, Your Honor.
All right, I'll start with you, plaintiff. Mr. Dodd, why are you here? What happened?
Well, I feel I lost a legitimate job opportunity because her son, who has documented behavioral issues, interrupted my video call when I asked her to take her son out and told her about the video call and asked her to watch him.
Where were you doing this video call?
We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment and we had an office.
You all were in a relationship?
Yes, this is my ex. We are no longer in a relationship.
And how old is your son, Ms. Erikson?
He's 9, Your Honor.
9?
Yes.
Okay. And so how long were you in this relationship?
Close to 2 years. We lived together for 1 year.
Lived together 1 year, together 2 years.
Yeah, I moved into her place.
And if he's 9 years old, he was here when you met her?
Correct.
All right. And so what type of apartment was this? Was this just like a 1-floor apartment? Was there an upstairs, downstairs?
There was an upstairs 2-floor apartment.
It was 2 floors?
Yeah, we were on the upper floor.
And you were on the upper floor?
Yes.
But the apartment itself had 2 floors?
Correct, Judge.
So take me to the nature of this call. This was like a Zoom call, an interview?
Correct, yeah. It was the final rounds of the interview, and it was the most promising job interview I had in months. They offered me $2,500 for the month, and then there was a opportunity for full-time afterwards. And it was going well. I had an interview, and then she agreed to take her son out to the park to play while I was having the interview.
So you could have just some time to think and focus.
Correct, and so
And you couldn't do that in maybe one of the bedrooms?
No, I mean, he's rambunctious, and also, this is a video call. I didn't want it to be interrupted.
You didn't want any noise. You wanted to just kind of have a little minute to focus on the call.
Correct.
And so, Ms. Erikson, did you agree to take your son outside of the house?
I did, Your Honor.
And why is it he wasn't outside the house during the call?
He was. We were asked to be out of the house from 11 to 1 that day, and we did leave, but unfortunately, when we were at the park on his play date, it began raining, and we had to come home. He was really upset that it got cut short, and so he was having a tantrum. Otherwise, I would have taken him out to lunch.
So he was having a tantrum?
Yes.
And then you brought him back in the house where Mr. Dodd was on a video call?
Yes, I thought I had sufficiently calmed him down so that it wouldn't be a problem. I also was used to those interviews being quite short. We'd already been gone. I came back at 12:15, so it was over an hour.
And you couldn't take him to a coffee shop, go get a donut. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that probably would have occupied a child better after a missed play date opportunity.
I did think about that, Your Honor, but he was so upset, I just thought it would be better to bring him home and
so it's your testimony that you knowingly brought home a child that was extremely upset. You even used the word tantrum during a time that you agreed to take the child out of the house.
I did, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Dodd, continue.
Yeah, so I was in the video call, and it was going good.
What type of job was this?
It's a UX auditor and web development.
Who were you in the meeting with?
I was in the meeting with 2 of the hiring representatives. So they would be my superiors.
You had been on the call for an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, I was in the waiting room for a long time, so it went longer. I was probably on the call for 20 minutes when the incident happened.
Coming up,
I did not offer to give him money. I thought the way he reacted when he was interrupted, he says he had to shut the door, but he slammed the door.
Didn't slam it.
and later.
I actually got a call from my ex-wife, and she was stuck in a snowbank, and it was urgent, and so it was more dangerous for her. I felt like I could come back and do it later.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Vance Dodd, who brought Wanda Erikson to court for negligence.
Once the disturbance happened, could you hear it from far away, or you knew nothing until?
Oh, I could hear it. He was screaming the second he came in, and then he walked into the room that I was in, and I had to ask him to leave. I had to close the door. And even the people in the interview made a comment of it, and I have evidence here that that's why I didn't get the job.
You submitted evidence to the court. I'll review it here. Following the final video meeting, the hiring committee expressed significant concerns regarding the environment in which you would be representing the company. During the call, there were repeated disruptions as a child entered a room and interrupted the conversation on several occasions. The level of background noise and resulting distractions made it difficult to maintain the flow of the interview. These disruptions reached a point where one of our company representatives felt it necessary to pause the meeting and comment directly on the unprofessional nature of the environment. We believe that if these conditions persist, they would negatively impact your ability to successfully perform the core duties of this role. Please note that any previous agreements or onboarding steps are now void. Which agreement did you have? You said you were on a final round of interview.
Yeah, they agreed to pay me $2,500 for a trial period month, and then they took that away once this happened.
You hadn't been hired.
I hadn't been hired, but it was promised to me in the last interview.
So you were hired.
That's what they said. They said they'd give me a trial period of 1 month for $2,500, which was huge for me at the time because I had been out of work for 2 months.
And then they wrote you a long email about how a child bursting in during this interview is the reason why you didn't get the $2,500.
Yeah. It was a scene. He came in twice. I had to close the door. There was screaming from the other room.
And did you suggest to them, well, I can go and get a workspace? When was this? Your child goes to school, right?
He does, Your Honor.
This was in the summer.
All right.
And I didn't want to suggest that because these people hiring me were younger. They don't have kids. They don't understand.
So how do you respond to that? He's suing you for being negligent, Ms. Erikson. He's saying that your negligence, your carelessness, created damage for him. He lost $2,500.
Your Honor, if he had let me know the importance of that meeting, but he did not, and we were gone over an hour, and we thought that that was sufficient time. Unfortunately, I needed to bring my son home, and when we entered the apartment, he was not screaming.
Did you send a text at all to say, hey, playdate got cut short?
No.
Are you done with your call?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
All right. Did you offer to say to him, oh my God, I knew that money was important to you? You got a chance to read the letter that he really did lose the job because of the noise? Did you make any effort to create an opportunity for you to make him whole?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I did not offer to give him money. I thought the way he reacted when he was interrupted, he says he had to shut the door, but he slammed the door.
Didn't slam it.
He slammed the door, Your Honor.
We have a different
And
definition of slamming.
they saw him blow his stack. I work as an executive assistant, and I have to maintain a level of professionalism.
So you're saying is that the child entering the room upset wasn't what you believe the office saw. It was his response to it.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how did you respond, Mr. Dodd?
I closed the door.
Did you close it? Did you slam it? Did you get in a huff? Did you seem like you were off kilter? What?
I told him sternly to leave, and I closed the door, and then I resumed the interview, and that's when they made note of it.
And that's another thing. Why and how did the child even get to enter the room? Even if you brought him home, there was more than one room. Could you take the child to another room?
Yes, Your Honor. I was making lunch and I was texting.
Ah. Okay. Coming back home to me didn't rise to the level of negligence. But deciding that you have a child with a tantrum going on, having a bad day, and a person that you know is still on a video call trying to get a job, and you've agreed to keep that child out, but you decide to go make lunch and let that child roam freely, who then can come into the room and interrupt his video call. Now we're rising to the level of you owed him a greater duty of care. And that duty was to at least keep the child in another room until he finished the call. With that said, judgment for the plaintiff for $2,500. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $2,500.
This was an unfortunate experience, and I really, really wish that he hadn't decided to sue me after our relationship disintegrated.
Well, I'm happy we can move on now. I think this was fair.
Coming up,
Exactly. Well, I mean, I had no reason to not rely on him. He's managed to ingrain himself into every aspect of my life with helping around the outside, but he's also gotten really involved in my son's life, and like we would have dinner together. And
So what's really going on here? Are you guys a couple?
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. Alana Jackson claims her neighbor didn't finish shoveling her snowy driveway, so she took an expensive rideshare to work. Thomas Everett says he was doing Ms. Jackson a favor, but stopped shoveling due to a family emergency.
Good day, everyone. This is the case of Jackson versus Everett. Ms. Jackson, you are suing Mr. Everett for $350 for detrimental reliance. You say you had to pay for a ride share to work because he didn't shovel the snow from your driveway. And defendant, you say you were doing plaintiff a favor. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's start with the plaintiff. Why are you here, ma'am?
well, Your Honor, I'm suing my neighbor over here, Thomas, because we had a really big snowstorm. I'm a nurse, so I just needed to get to work. So I texted him in my rideshare on the way there if he could please shovel the snow off of my car and off my driveway. And I have the screenshots for the text right here.
Hey, Thomas, can you please help me out and shovel my lawn? The blizzard is coming. Hey, yeah, I can help you out with that. No problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so he said that he would do it, and so I trusted him. I believed him because, I mean, in the past he's been very consistent with doing favors for me. I didn't think that I would need to inspect his work, so I went to sleep. And when I woke up the next morning, I was running late, and so I went to go out there, and lo and behold, my driveway is still covered in snow, still stuck in the driveway is my car, and so I had to call another Uber.
Why didn't you shovel the snow, Mr. Everett? What happened?
Well, Your Honor, I started, and I actually got a call from my ex-wife, and she was stuck in a snowbank, and it was urgent, and so it was more dangerous for her. I felt like I could come back and do it later.
So your ex-wife was having an emergency.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't that you didn't plan to shovel the snow, you just needed to handle the emergency first.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming up,
Because he didn't clear the snow, I had to hire a neighborhood kid to clean it for me because he wasn't going to do it.
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with a dispute between Alana Jackson and Thomas Everett over the incomplete shoveling of a snowy driveway.
I really depended on him to get that cleared so I can go to work. And
So you paid for a rideshare for $250?
I did.
Two times?
2 times. The first time was not his fault. That was the blizzard
second
had
time
just
wasn't
happened.
So why are you suing for $350?
Because he didn't clear the snow, I had to hire a neighborhood kid to clean it for me because he wasn't going to do it.
How many times before has Mr. Everett shoveled your snow?
He's done so in the past.
For like 2 years, Your Honor.
2 years.
I took up a lot of duties and, raking leaves and cleaning the gutter, shoveling snow, even watching her son Nick at points, and this is something that she wasn't paying me for. I was just doing this because she needed help.
All right. You're saying that you relied on him to your detriment,
Yes.
meaning you didn't have the snow shoveled by anyone else because he told you he was going to do it.
Yes.
And because you relied on him, now you couldn't get to work without paying for a rideshare.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I had no reason to not rely on him. He's managed to ingrain himself into every aspect of my life with helping around the outside. But he's also gotten really involved in my son's life, and like we would have dinner together. And
So what's really going on here? Are you guys a couple?
No, I can answer that. We are not a couple. We did have one night because like for some of like the things that I would do.
I knew something had happened. I said he's doing a lot of work running around.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's doing this? No harm here. I mean, I'm judging, but I'm not judging because I know we like a man that can get things done. And I will say it's a neighborly thing to do.
Yeah.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
It's an interesting thing because my father passed and now I've been doing work on his home and it's back in Detroit and there's a lot of snow. Now, all my father's life, he was one of those old school men that still like to shovel his own snow and do his stuff. Well, then he would always do his neighbors. Mm-hmm. And even though he was married, he would always do his neighbors. And what was so beautiful that, after his passing, and I live in a different state from the house, the other neighbor on the other side began to do my father's snow. And it's interesting, and it's just like what you put out in the world comes back to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's a beautiful thing, and this made me think of that right now. I'll say this, Mr. Everett, you're being more than kind, and you're doing her a favor. And a favor doesn't make a contract, Ms. Jackson. At the end of the day, you have a very thoughtful neighbor that is helping you out. You should be grateful for that. And if he had an emergency, you need to understand that. Your case is dismissed. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I just wish that you had been honest with me and just let me know that there was another thing. I wouldn't have relied on you to shovel the snow.
You know what? Chivalry isn't dead. But for you, now it might be.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.